What's up, everybody? We're still riding that GenreBlast train with the second feature film of the day. It's the East Coast premiere of a Japanese horror romance film entitled Love Will Tear Us Apart. Let's get cracking. Love Will Tear Us Apart tells the story of a young lady with a stalker, but not just any stalker, no. This stalker moonlights as a serial killer. Just about everywhere that this woman goes, this stalker isn't far behind, leaving body parts at his wake. What's his motivation for the slew of murders? Well, see, he's in love with her, and she has no idea how to take that. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, but you really never truly know what to expect from GenreBlast, but that's part of the charm, right? Horror films, common. Horror comedies are more common nowadays than I feel like they've ever been before, but horror romances? Now, there's a mixture that is insanely bold, and I imagine hard to perfect. I think that fans of the Halloween franchise might actually pick up on a few nods here and there in this film, as it's not only just a slasher, but it also revolves around a female protagonist that the killer is weirdly obsessed with for some reason. And instead of Michael Myers, you have a strangely protective serial killer in this film, as this woman was the only person in his history that was ever nice to this guy, who for whatever reason, he grew up surrounded by bullying behavior and abuse. So, there's this awfully peculiar dynamic between the two that I found fascinating. The look of this killer, likewise, was really neat. Very Cold War with a gas mask on and a scientist's coat splattered in blood. Very cool look there. And even some of the gore was dealt with better than I expected. As a whole, I would say that they had a decent budget and they knew how to balance that budget effectively. But here's where things get to be a tad bit tricky. A horror romance is indeed bold because it's hard to do it right. It can be done, yeah, and I think that there's something special here, but it doesn't quite make the cut because it feels so bipolar. It jumps from melodramatics to over-the-top horror scenes, back to the melodramatics, in between whatever they were attempting to do with the romance, and it just kind of gives you whiplash as an audience member. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a bad movie, as I was genuinely pulled in and curious on what would happen next. It really is obscure enough to lure in audiences everywhere, and it's made well enough, by the way, for critics to break it down bit by bit on what did and did not work so well. But as far as successfully laying out the message that the filmmakers were going for, I'm not 100% sure that they pulled that off. Sometimes with a review, I like to say what I would do differently as a filmmaker. I'm not so sure on this one. Like I said, it is hard to get it right, but I would probably personally focus on keeping the tone consistent here, as the best way to do that for a film like this would be to probably lighten the mood, make it less melodramatic, and make the scares less serious. Give it some tongue-in-cheek, self-aware, dark humor that remains consistent from beginning to end, and then you might have something. At the end of the day, though, I thought that this film was pretty decent overall, but it could have been a little bit better. I scored Love Will Tear Us Apart a C+ letter grade final overall score of 68%, 68 out of 100 possible stars. You know, that's a score that was agreed upon from the technical side of things as well as bias, meaning that it's fair. Like I said, there's nothing inherently wrong or bad about it. I'm just not sure if I'm clamoring over myself to watch it again. But what about you guys? What did you think about this film, Love Will Tear Us Apart? Have you seen it? Are you partaking in the GenreBlast Film Festival this year? If so, let's hear your most anticipated film of the festival. Other than that, guys, that's all I got. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review for GenreBlast, and until then,